Hi guys, it's Daisy here from Outside Accounting. I thought I'd just quickly make a video to show you how to answer your 2022 annual questionnaire. So the first step is Suraj will send you this email from the Xero portal with a link on how to get to our questions. So just have a quick read through this and decide, yeah, you're happy with everything. And then when you're happy, just click here to answer the questions. So that'll take you to the client query portal. So if it's the first time answering the questionnaire from us, it'll get you to set up a new password with the email address that the queries were sent to. So this is completely separate to your Xero account. So regardless of if you have a Xero account or not, it'll get you to sort of set up a new password. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a Xero account, these two are completely separate. If you've been with us before, you'll know just to log in using that password that you used last year. If you also have a few organisations with us that the queries have been sent to your email address, they'll come up here. So you can just click on the one that you're answering at that time. So once you click on through to that, it'll take you to all of our questions that we've pushed through to you. So one of the ways that you can navigate these is just from this jump to tab on the left-hand side here. So for example, if you're just answering one section of the queries and then someone else is answering another, you can sort of just jump to the questions that might be relevant to you. So don't be deterred by how many questions there are on here. It's very unlikely that you will have all of these questions, as you know, the queries are just relevant to your business. So I've just put them all on here just so I can run through them and sort of show you how answering these would work. So I'll just start from the top, the accounts payable tab. So I'll ask two sort of questions based on whether you have a Xero account or not. If you do have a Xero account, it's likely that you're going to get this first question here. So that's just confirming that the aged payables in Xero are correct. So one of the ways you can check this is just by going to your Xero account, going to the accounting and then aged payables summary tab. Putting it to the correct financial year, so the end of the last financial year, 2022. And then just having a quick scroll through and making sure that these haven't been paid and that they're correct, and maybe giving you another chance to sort of chase them and, make sure you get paid soon if they're in this older tab. Otherwise, if you don't have a Xero account, we'll just be asking you to list an amounts that you have owing at balance date. So you can just attach a file by clicking this tab here, titling it whatever you want and attaching a file. This is just a can we help? So giving our phone number, or you can add an extra comment on something we may have missed, so that's just giving our sort of details if we can help with anything. Please sing out at any time if you're going through your queries and you have a few questions. It's always easier just to give us a call, just so we know that you're, struggling with it, or, we can help when you're doing it on the spot. The accounts receivable tab, same thing as accounts payable. You'll get one or the other. So if you have a Xero account, you'll be getting this question here. So same thing, hopping onto your Xero, going to this accounts receivable summary, and just doing the same thing as accounts payable, just double checking that they're all correct. Coding at that end of last financial year and just checking over those ones there. If you don't have a Xero account, you'll likely be getting this one here. So that's the same thing, just attaching any accounts receivables that you had at balance date. This question here is, are any of your accounts receivable unlikely to be received? So this is kind of that bad debts question. Are there any receivables that you've been chasing for a while, no one's following up, maybe someone's gone into receivership, or you're just not sure about what's happening there. So just write a list of those receivables that are unlikely to be received. It might be good just to use that invoice number or the name of the receivable, just so that when we're coming on and writing it off in your annual accounts, we know exactly what we're looking at. So there's bank information question here. So the first one is just attaching bank statements for each bank account showing on Xero, at 31 March 2022. So you can do that just by going on your online banking, and it can just be a PDF showing that bank balance. This is just so we can confirm this is accurate in Xero. You may also get this question even if you don't have a Xero account. So just hop onto your online banking and confirm that bank balance is correct. Attach those files here. They're doing the same thing for those credit cards and any other bank accounts that you have on your Xero account. You may get this question if you don't have active bank feeds on Xero, or if you're a contractor and you don't have a Xero account anyway. It's very likely that you're going to get this question here. So just attaching those in Excel CSV version. You do that as well just through your online banking. You can choose whether you want to download it as a PDF or if you want it as an Excel CSV. Excel CSVs just make it much easier for us to use. Otherwise, it does take us a little bit of extra time just to convert it into a workable format. Cash on hand section, just confirming all cash was deposited at balance date. If not, just sort of write how much you may have had on hand. So this is if you have a till. So just write that down here. Our compilation agreement, this is just for you to sign, just to confirm that you're happy for us to complete your accounts and we have authority to complete your accounts. Don't worry if you don't sign that now. We probably will chase you when we send out your annuals. Contingent liabilities, so just confirming whether you had any contingent liabilities at balance date. So that's anything like your lawsuits, guarantees, so sort of anything along those lines, just writing it down below here. Donations, so that's just attaching any receipts of donations made in the past year. So this can be personal donations or from the business. So just attach screenshots of the transaction going to your bank account, or receipts would be better if you have them. The fixed asset changes tab. So we'll attach a depreciation schedule and just confirm that this is correct. So I'll download that and just show you kind of what you'll be looking at. So this is directly from Xero, and it's just confirming that those fixed assets are still being used within the business. And just checking that you're happy with those amounts. For example, if we would have registered it in the last year, that these amounts here are correct. If no, I'll change this here. This should be answering you should be able to add a comment here rather than attach files. But if it's not correct, you can, write a comment on what should be there or what shouldn't be there if you've disposed of anything. Then we can make those changes in the annuals. You might also get this question here. So this kind of means that Suraj has gone through and noticed that there's not an invoice or receipt for fixed asset payments that have been made. So we need the receipt to be able to register the asset, just to ensure that you've paid the right amount, or just making sure that we have the right asset that we're registering. Hire purchase and finance lease, sort of just uploading any of those documents that you received during the year. This could be, you've bought a vehicle on finance lease. So what we'll need the document, of the vehicle that was purchased, and also from your finance lease arrangement. So showing all those interest payments that need to be made. Showing those monthly payments. So just any documents that you received from your finance lease arranger. Home office. So this is just asking whether you use part of your home office, for business purposes during the year. If you did, we've attached a file here for you to fill out. So this is just an Excel file, just asking about the total area of the house and garage compared to the amount used for home office. So it's just asking you in meters squared, then just asking whether you're GST registered, and asking you to list the annual amounts. These can sort of just be, rough ideas. They don't need to be exact, but, close to perfect would be good. So you just list that down there and then re-upload it into that section there. Insurance, same thing, just any invoices that you've received in the year. You're paying off insurance installments. Just those invoices we'll need. Interest income. So this is any interest received from, for example, from your bank, anything that sort of had withholding tax deducted at source. So just attach those here. Inventory, same thing, just answering these yes or no questions. Did you have any inventory on hand? If yes, just writing, details on that. Investments, did the company make any investments during the year? Just adding the PDF version. So that could be any, dividends received during the year, or if you can attach like a portfolio summary for the year that you received from your investment practice. Yeah, so just attaching these here. This loan details question here is just asking to upload, any new documents for new business loans that were drawn down during the period. Yeah, so that's just those loan agreements you should have received from the bank. We might also be asking just to see a end of year loan summary. So this is just so we can see how much interest was paid during the year and the loan balance at the end of the financial year. Personal. So you may or may not receive these questions. So this is just asking about if there was any other personal income that you received during the year, that we don't have on file. So yeah, any of those RWT statements, any dividends that you received personally, any other income, for example, like shareholder salary from a company that we don't prepare the annual accounts for. So just sort of list those all down here. Also asking a very important one, did you receive wage subsidy during the year? So this could be you personally or the business itself. So just putting down how much you received and at what dates. Private use. So this is if any of your goods, so your assets or anything, inventory was taken for private use during the year. Just popping down what was taken and the value of what was taken. Rental property information. So obviously this is just specific if you do have a rental property. We'll just be asking for loan summaries, or if you're using like a property management company, we'll ask for a summary of their info that they should send to you on an annual basis. Bank transaction exports. This is if we don't have that rental account on zero. And any other assets that were purchased more than, this should be $1,000 rather than $5,000. Vehicles. So this is if your company or your business owns any vehicles, and we're just asking whether these were taken for private use. So for example, you use the company car on the weekend. We just sort of need to know that, and you can just add the details down below. Wage records. This is if you have any employees. So we need to know the annual leave balance at balance date, whether any holiday pay or bonuses were paid 63 days post 21 March. And then just a total summary showing the leave liability and payments that were made during the year. So you should be able to get this from your payroll provider, just a report. Awesome. And any additional comments, you can just leave them down the bottom here. So this is just if you think we might have missed something, or something could interest us, or just anything sort of down below. Obviously, if you have any queries as you're going through them, just give us a call on this number here, and we'll be more than happy to help.